The verdict is in from the last episode, and you lot will let me know your thoughts and opinions on what we should do in the international break. And I'm back and I'm bearing some bad news. We did need to pick up a few names, and the first one to be bought or purchased was, so we actually went and picked up a big name. We are moments away from the deadline, and I wanted to show you guys I made some more business. You know me, pretty much just action packed on the market for this episode today. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Almiron's Army. Today we'll be uncovering the international sort of dilemma that we had in the previous episode. We'll also be looking at how we got on over the weekend, and of course we'll be strategizing and building towards this weekend. Let's go. Okay, so the verdict is in from the last episode, and you lot will let me know your thoughts and opinions on what we should do in the international break. And pretty much we have come to the conclusion, I think most people agreed with me in the back end of the last video, that pretty much we should get rewarded 20% of whatever the reward is that Almiron pretty much participates in the international stuff. So with that being said, obviously, as you guys seen in the last episode, we did manage to hit the target, get 50 essence with this squad, which means Almiron did earn 10 of the essence that we got. So we will add that to the spreadsheet now. We are currently on 28 essence, so we'll pop that up to 38, and pretty much as soon as this essence tab hits 40, we will craft, and whatever we craft will go towards Almiron's army. Obviously you guys know that I have more, I guess I have loads of squads on my Sorare account, so obviously the essence comes from, you know, we draw from all different types of competitions, but the best way I can just run this series is pretty much just say, because obviously I'll be ripping crafts and stuff with my other the other ways I get essence, but the best way we can sort of track essence and things like that in this series is pretty much every time I hit that magic 20, so 20, 40, 60, so on and so forth, we'll just pull the next craft on the account, and whatever that is, that'll be Almiron Army like reward, if that makes sense. I have also added the international team to the spreadsheet, so you can just see here that where I pretty much got pretty much more rewards from, if that makes sense, because obviously we'll be adding the two MLS sort of results as and when they happen. And yeah, so that is all things updated international wise. Let's get on to the MLS stuff. We are back talking all things MLS. Let's see how we got on over the weekend in the competition. We'll pull up Sorare data here, and obviously this is our main team, this is our in-season team, and you can see, unfortunately, we start off with the goalkeeper defence, you know, conceding 4 to Charlotte. We did know it wasn't a favourable fixture, as we sort of touched upon in the last episode, but Berhalter obviously did have a good fixture, and they still lost. However, the man Berhalter gets another 40 odd AA, and yeah, his price is massively spiked on the market, which we will talk about in this episode today. And another one who obviously just keeps on shining is Anthony for the series, and he's managed to pick up a decisive, and you boys know that that means an extra £1 to our budget, which is lovely. And then Shappy, unfortunately, again, you know, just lacking a little bit. Sporting Kansas City, just not the one. But yeah, overall, I can't be too mad getting 315 in a squad that we knew all of the fixtures were not exactly the best. No Almiron as well, so we knew we were going to be weaker. And then yeah, looking at the classic team, obviously we knew this one wasn't going to go anywhere with Almiron certain to DMP. However, we did have some real like you know, sparkles or talking points here. Now, unfortunately, the goalkeeper did concede. We didn't get a clean sheet from St. Louis City. However, Escobar, which obviously, if you boys know the channel, you know, he is one that I've been preaching to you know, get in your galleries. And yeah, he just showed why. He should be in your gallery really this weekend, because not only did he score himself, you know, 90 points, but he did actually manage to win Star of the Week for us this week. Franco Escobar with that monster score. And Arango picked up another decisive for the series. So yeah, that is £2 added to our budget with an Anthony goal and an Arango goal. So we'll add that in now. So that takes us to, oh, where are we? Money made from rules. Here we go. There we go. £12. So we're on £2.75 budget. And in terms of like, I guess, moving forward and developing the strategy, I definitely do need to have a little look to see how much Berhalter is selling for, because there's a window to potentially sell. Of course, he is a special card as well. And same with Anthony, we're going to have a little look to see if we can potentially get both of them gone so that we can develop a whole new or a whole like another in-season team, so we can have two in-season teams, which would be perfect in terms of yield and return as well. We do need to double check what we've actually returned here. So we managed to actually get free essence from the because obviously we put this in Division 3 kind of tactically, and we probably wouldn't have got anything in Division 1 had we have submitted it in there. So luckily we done it in Division 3 like we discussed in the last video, and we picked up ourselves 3 more essence, so we'll add that to, there we go, our lovely essence pod. And you can see that now we're on 41 essence, which means the next craft that we do get on the account will be for Almiron's army, so stay tuned for that one. And then the other squad didn't actually earn us anything, however it somehow was managed to get promoted, even though we had a DMP, so just managed to get promoted. I mean, I guess we'll take it, you know, the higher the division, the better. So yeah, in terms of returns, or return, I guess, we managed to get free essence, which is great because now we can get another craft, and of course Arango goal is always good for the series and the budget, I guess. So yeah, so moving forward, we're going to look to see prices and things like that, see if we can make any moves in the market. We can actually go ahead and do a little search on Anthony and Berhalter. Of course, we can't actually list them now as they are currently still in the squad and the deadline hasn't quite hit yet. But yeah, Anthony at £9.50 potentially. So yeah, potential we could get rid of him just in order to fund you know, the second squad. And Berhalter, who we picked up for £3. My God, is yeah, triple that nearly, so, or more than triple, quadruple that. So potentially we could look to list Berhalter, especially as he's a special card as well. We might be able to get around £16 for him if we're super lucky. So yeah, obviously we're gonna wait for the you know, the game week to conclude here, and then when it does, I might just throw Berhalter and Anthony up for, you know, up for, I guess, I wouldn't say unreasonable price, but I'll list them quite highly. And if they go, great. If they don't, then that's okay. We'll keep them in the series. But yeah, potentially we could be making some big changes. Stay tuned. If you're watching this video now and you're thinking about signing up to Sorare, do not forget to use my link in the description down below. It does really help out a small creator like myself. And if you do use that link, you will even win yourself a free limited card. Okay, so we are in a new game week, so I can officially list the players that we were looking at potentially selling or offloading in the last clip. And I'll be honest, boys, I've seen some of the prices of some of these players and my eyes have lit up. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting them to sell, but I thought I'd throw it in the video and we can sort of roughly guess how much we might get for these players, because I'm just looking at the profit. I mean, this is a special Bruno Wilson up for £12. That's the cheapest on the market at £12.60. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to list mine for the same as the buy now and just pray it goes. Obviously, it might not go. It might not go. Look, listen, I'm not expecting £15 from a player like Bruno Wilson, but I'm going to list them and see if they do. Same with a Berhalter. I've seen him up at ridiculous prices as well. Yes, again, I'm going to put him a £16 because that is his buy now, and obviously you get the same benefits really to listing them. I guess the buy now and the special is pretty much the same, if you know what I mean, in terms of like collection points. I'm just gonna pretty much for the next couple of days, it's gonna be a bit of a quiet one because I'm gonna list these at like ridiculous prices. So Anthony, we're gonna list at like £13.20, because obviously this is not a special one. We're just going to go £13.20. And look, I'm not expecting any of these to sell. And as well, we're going to list Arango. But if they do, obviously we can just look to buy more assets. Obviously, we're quite a small gallery. So if we can take, you know, if we can get make these big profit margins. I mean, especially in, Bruno, who we bought for £3, Berhalter £3. Like, if we manage to sell one of them for £15, same as Anthony, that's pretty much refunded. Yeah, it's pretty much refunded our starting budget, so it just makes so much sense to at least attempt to try and get the money for them, and then obviously we can look to build elsewhere and strengthen the gallery up as a whole. But yeah, so that's sort of the plan, I guess, early on in the week, and we'll cut back to sort of later on in the week, and we'll see if anything sells. It is midweek, and I'm back, and I'm bearing some bad news. Well, not bad news, but some sad news. Anthony has officially sold. Well, I say sad, you know what I mean. Like, it's sad to see someone leave the gallery, especially when I do really like this card. It just, for the money, I can't say no. And you can see here, obviously we purchased him for about £5 a month ago, and we have sold him on for £12.49 after tax. That equates to £11.83, and for a series like this, you can't really say no to stuff like that. So I am going to add that on to the I guess the sales. So 11.83, and that leaves us with a nice bank account or bank total now of £14.58. But of course, that does mean we have to say goodbye to our Anthony, who has been a fantastic servant for the club. And yeah, we'll move along the forward situation. So now I think, yeah, we're in quite a healthy spot in terms of like everything else in the gallery. I will show you boys just to sort of keep you up to date in this midweek sort of section. I have put Bruno Wilson for about £11. I feel like that's, again, they might not sell, but I'll put it up. Same with Berhalter, £15. I feel like that's pretty fair. Unlikely that we might get that sort of money for them, but I thought they're special cards. We might be able to pull a blinder. So I'm going to leave them up for a little bit. We're not in exactly a rush to sell them, so that's fine. And now we actually have 14 quid to work with. I am sort of looking at the roster and I'm thinking, right, so we've definitely still got an in-season team, because obviously we've got Wilson, Almiron, the classic goalkeeper, Berhalter and Shappy, and I'm thinking let's potentially push for another in-season team, especially with the budget that we have now. But yeah, I'm going to wait to see if other things sell, because obviously this drastically changes the plan. If Wilson and Berhalter sell tomorrow, then you know what I mean, I'm going to have 30-40 quid in the bank, and that is going to be, yeah, pretty much just going to change all my plans. Like I did say in the previous clips as well, we do have 41 essence as well, so on top of that, our next craft that we can get on the account will be for the series. Obviously at the minute I'm only at 4 essence on the account, so I do need to get back up to 20, and then as soon as I get that, we will be ripping it. So the account or the series is in a very healthy spot. And yeah, we're just sort of developing the strategy, developing who we might be picking up. And yeah, I'm going to cut to when we picked up maybe a few players, or potentially some more people have sold. Our channel has finally become a partner with YouTube, and that means that you boys can become a member on the channel. How you would do that is by clicking the join button down below, and you can see all the exclusive perks to becoming a member on this channel. Not only that, but you would be massively helping and supporting a small creator in myself, making more videos like this one for you guys to enjoy. So I would really appreciate if you did join our membership down below. Thank you. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so we are at the end of the week now, and I have a lot to update you boys on. There's been massive changes to the gallery, so we're going to have to go through everything that happened. Obviously, on the last clip, you saw that we sold Anthony, and yeah, we had another outgoing in Mr. Sebastian Berhalter for £13.30. I know it's a special card, but at that sort of money in a series like this, you can't really turn your nose up at it. And yeah, we managed, well, we sold him for £14, but obviously after tax, we did only get £13.30, as you can see in the transactions here. So I'm going to add that to the profit loss margin. So £13.30, and you can see that left us with a massive budget, sort of £27.88. So we done some purchases. So before we get onto that, we are gonna delete our Sebastian Ripperoni. So we obviously have skinned the gallery out a little bit here. So we did need to pick up a few names, and the first one to be bought or purchased was Max Arfston. Now, for those of you guys that have followed the series a little bit, you will know that I was already scouting him in previous videos, and yeah, at £3 and 56 pence. Can't really go wrong for a forward for a Columbus Crew, really. And he's a wide player, which you boys know I always favour a wide player. So yeah, and at £3.56, I felt like he was a good replacement for Anthony. So we will take that off of the budget then. So £3.56. Okay, so that left us with £24. And then, yeah, so obviously that is Anthony's replacement pretty much done, for the time being anyway. And then obviously we needed a midfielder to replace Berhalter and just generally strengthening up the gallery. So we did actually go and pick up a Ryan Hollingshed for £5.95. Again, just a good defender in a good team. I think he'll score right. Although lineup builds or the team I solidify and submit might not include Ryan because obviously they have concave things. So yeah. Anyway, Ryan, as you can see, £5.95. So we'll take that off of the budget minus £5.95. There we go. So that left us with £18. Again, we just need to strengthen up the gallery. So we actually went and picked up a big name in oh god, I'm trying to pronounce this one, but Philip Zinkernagel. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. We're just gonna call him Zink, and yeah, pretty much European. So he just looks like he works in the MLS. He looks like obviously this is one that's come into Chicago Fire. Obviously, Chicago Fire, not the best of teams, but from what I've seen of this guy, he looks like he could be the business. So we picked him up, and I won't lie, it was a pretty penny for him. But I have a feeling he could spike in price, especially if he does well. And we're going to be using him straight away this weekend. So we picked up Philippe Zink for £7.74, and that massively strengthens the attacking side of the gallery. So £7.74. So obviously that is a large chunk of the budget in Philip Mr. Zink. Wait, I did put 774, right? Let me just double check. Yes, 774. So that leaves us with £10 left, and obviously still a craft to claim. I'm actually going to add it here just so I don't remember. And you boys don't forget one craft. One craft to claim, because obviously we don't have the essence actually in the gallery right now, but I do need to remember that the next one is for Almiron's army. And then yeah, we did manage to pick up one more name, so lots of moves before, I guess, at the end of the week. These all came in the same day, but we managed to pick up Timothy Tillman, and this one was on bid, and we did actually win 500 XP with the bid because it was the power up promo, and we did a little bit of an overpay for him, but I don't mind too much because I think even at £5, I think he's pretty cheap. So we managed to win Tillman for £5.43. So we'll add that to the midfielders. That's sort of £5.42. Did I say 43? We'll just do 43. Saves any arguments there. Nice. So pretty much, all in all. Obviously, I will be updating the roster, but we've got rid of Berhalter and Anthony, so a forward and midfielder, and we've replaced them with Tillman, obviously a very capable midfielder, that covers off Berhalter. Then we've got Zink, who covers off Anthony, and then we've got two sort of, not risky, but good sort of players to have in the gallery in Ryan Hollingshed and Max Arfston. So yeah, all in all, I think we've definitely improved the side. And then on top of all of that, we still have £5 left. So I don't know what I'm going to use the £5 on because I'm yet to sort of build the squads. But yeah, that's sort of an update of the end of the week stuff for you boys. Forgot to add, of course, as well, because we got the 500 XP. Again, I didn't really show it because I wasn't on my computer when I won the bid. I don't know if the bid tells you. It doesn't really show. I can't really prove. I can't really prove that I got 500, but you boys are just gonna have to trust me. So we're gonna spend the XP as well. on Almiron's army. So obviously we've got 500 to spend, so we'll definitely do 64 on Philip. So that's fine. Then we've got, I guess, 2 more spends really, and we'll go for. Oh wait, this is not Almiron's army. Sorry, let me go into that and let's go for. Part of me, oh, I can't afford that. Tricky decision. I haven't really thought about this, to be honest, just going into it. I might just do all the new boys. I might do Tillman, because let's do Tillman, because obviously he earned me the, how do we, yeah, Tillman earned me the 500 XP, so it makes sense. And then we've got 200 left to spend, and oh yeah, so, oh, you can actually tell, because I bought him in the power-up, I could actually just, there's no cooldown for him, so you can tell that Tillman's how we won the XP. And I'm thinking Arston or Hollingshed. I'm going to go with Hollingshed. And then, yeah, that's all the 500 XP spent from the bid that we did win. We are moments away from the deadline, and I wanted to show you guys I made some more business. You know me, pretty much just action-packed on the market for this episode today. I did bring in another Almiron, pretty much from Atalanta. Obviously, this was inevitable. We needed to pick one up at some point anyways, so we got that Almiron through the door. And actually, you did see in the last clip, we did have some XP left over, so we might as well just throw it on him, why not? And that is all of our XP definitely used up now. And we did pick up another Daniel for the gallery. That means that Daniel is fast becoming pretty much a legend of the series already. I will add these to the spreadsheet, but I did want to sort of just do the lineups to show you guys why we added these two in to sort of round off the video for today. So yeah, let's build up the lineups and you guys can see the changes that we have made, and this is the reason why we brought them two in. So to start things off, we will go with one of our Daniels. I mean, they're both 3%, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to go with this one for vibes. Bruno Wilson, of course. And then we have got Timothy Tillman. And then we have got Almiron, obviously Atalanta version, which looks great. And then Big Zinc. So that is the first team sorted, and then we are going to do another in-season team. And of course, in the last episode, you saw we promoted this one to Division 2. The B team done that for us, so love to see that, with some terrible fixtures as well, so they've done the business. I'm going to go with Ben in goal. Then we're going to go with Hollingshed, although he's unlikely to play. Almiron, obviously the Newcastle version. And obviously Arston, which we picked up in this episode, and Shappy. This team obviously not the greatest, but it's in season, and that was what we were gunning for, so we'll take that. And we still do have enough pieces to build a classic team, because we went out and bought another Daniel. We can actually field a cheeky little classic team in Almiron and Arango, and then now Sivchenko might not start, but just makes sense for him to at least try and win us something there. And there we go. Oh, actually, sorry, we'll give Almiron the armband. How silly of me. So yeah, this is how we're going to look for Almiron's army going into the week. So obviously this is the first time that we are having 3 lineups. I do need to add or take away, sorry, £3.50 that we did pay for Daniel. So let me do that real quick. £3.50, and of course we don't need to take anything off for Almiron, because Almiron's our marquee player. You can have as many Almirons as you want, so pretty much, yeah, we could we could have 6 Almirons eventually. Hopefully that would be quite funny. But yeah, managed to get 3 teams. I'll be honest, obviously first team very cool, lovely. Second team not the best. Third team is just trying to get obviously more money from the rules. If Arango gets another decisive, we'll be laughing. But yeah, that is how we're looking going into the weekend. Loads of business. I appreciate it's probably quite hard to keep up with, but yeah, we sold a lot, bought a lot, and we pretty much ended up back on £1.70 in the gallery with. Well, we managed to get another lineup, so we'll absolutely take it. And of course, you're going to see in the next episode me update the roster and that sort of thing, and hopefully we do well over this weekend. Let's go. So you just seen us lock in for the weekend, and I forgot to add that Vitor Costa is being used in a I guess a warm up, because he could come off the bench, he could even start the game. So yeah, and then obviously the rest is, as you can see, ignore this team. Obviously this is just for my other gallery. And yeah, this is the updated roster. You've seen us pick up Daniel and of course a new Almiron. So yeah, we're looking very healthy now. And like I said, we've still got £1.70 and a craft to claim. And yeah, that's all Almiron sort of rounded off for the week. There you have it then, boys. There is Almiron's army concluded for the week. I hope you guys did enjoy. Obviously, loads going on, transfer madness in this one, just loads of not that actually that many outs, just loads of ins, so pretty much nuked the gallery at this point. Hope you guys did enjoy. Please do leave a like on the video if you did, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.